The Israelites were suffering under the harsh rule of the Philistines. For 40 years, they lived in oppression, unable to break free from the foreign rule that bound them. Their once proud nation, chosen by God, was now struggling under the weight of its enemies, crying out for a savior. In the small town of Zorah, in the land allotted to the tribe of Dan, there lived a humble man named Manoah and his wife. They were righteous before the Lord, living in faith. Yet they bore a heavy sorrow. They were childless. In those times, barrenness was not just a personal grief. It was often seen as a sign of shame or divine displeasure. Manoah's wife carried this burden, longing for a child, for someone to carry on their lineage. But unknown to her, God had a greater plan. One day, as she went about her daily life, a heavenly figure appeared before her, an angel of the Lord, glowing with divine radiance, stood before her and spoke.
You are barren and have not given birth, but behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. Now be careful, drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean. For this child shall be set apart as a Nazirite, dedicated to God from birth. No razor must ever touch his head, for he will be the one to begin the deliverance of Israel from the Philistines.
Overcome with awe and trembling with excitement, the woman ran to her husband and told him of the angel's message. Manoah, though a faithful man, could hardly believe such a revelation. He prayed to God, asking for confirmation.
Lord, if it is true that you will give us a child, send the angel again, so that we may know how to raise him properly.
And so, God answered his prayer. The angel appeared once more, repeating his divine instructions. Manoah, filled with reverence, asked the angel for his name, but the messenger of God simply responded,
Why do you ask my name? It is beyond your understanding.
Realizing the holiness of the moment, Manoah and his wife prepared an offering. As the flames rose from the altar, the angel ascended into the fire and disappeared into the heavens. At that moment, they knew without doubt this was a divine visitation. Soon, the prophecy came true. A son was born to them, and they named him Samson, meaning like the sun, for he was destined to shine as Israel's great champion. From a young age, Samson was unlike other children. As he grew, the Spirit of the Lord began to stir within him, filling him with a strength beyond human limits. By the time he was a young man, his reputation as an unmatched warrior had already begun to spread. But though he was blessed with divine strength, Samson was headstrong, impulsive, and driven by personal desires. One day, he traveled to the Philistine town of Timnah, where he saw a woman of great beauty. She was not an Israelite, she was a Philistine, but Samson was captivated by her. When he returned home, he declared to his parents,
I have seen a woman in Timnah. Get her for me as my wife.
His parents were deeply troubled.
Can you not find a woman among your own people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines to take a wife?
But Samson, determined and unwavering, insisted.
She is the one for me.
But did they know this was part of God's greater plan, to bring about a conflict between Samson and the Philistines? As Samson traveled back to Timnah to meet his betrayed, something extraordinary happened.